You've got a system where nature is. And nature is decentralized. And in a decentralized system, you have quorum sensing. And this caused you to have a very large brain. Because Nicholas saw some things that you didn't. And Mary did too. And they only had to see those things and all of us benefited. Now, when Mary saw something and Nicholas did too, but we weren't able to have anything that was to be responded from what they saw. See, we lost our quorum-censored conditioning, which a herd has and a flock has. And we like to school and we like to do these things. But under centralised pledged ownership, you've got massive irregularity because it doesn't model anything in nature. And when you have a system that's only set up, that's a frame, is connected to another frame, and it's linear in its manner of only having thought, this can't cause anything computed-wise to have a proper brain. And so dot arm is an idea which is only that something exists in a quanta, and you're moving into a quantum age, and we've moved into the age of Aquarius, which we did in 2011 in November. And since then, we've saw the central point of the star system that we're within in our galaxy. So it's another 2,000 years, that we have now, and we're into the age of Aquarius. And as we go, we've gone some 12 years or more, and we've gone in a direction which is 12 years of some numbered system which is under a code, and only that we're being received of some code, and it's dead. So a code is dead. A code is just like your reflection in a mirror. You could be mistook to say that was you, but it's only a reflection, and the reflection can't be injured. A state of your own being you're describing, and a state of being itself can't be injured or harmed. But what's being played out really is a going on of accompaniedness of something which isn't a whole brain pattern whatsoever. So where someone is into positive condition in themselves, it gives you access to your frontal cortex. So if you didn't have that discipline, you're not going to be in your frontal cortex, because wherever a thought came and you had a don't, won't, can't, should, try, but, must only, and that was right there, you can know that the thought itself has come from your amygdala and tegmentum, and it's neurologically inhibited the septal region of your brain. So the frontal cortex, which is your faculty to inspire creative influence of the future, isn't part of what you do. It's been lobotomized. So studies show that when some part of the brain was lobotomized by your thought and process itself, you weren't aware that something else existed. And so if you do not know what is real, and you are only taken by what's illusion, and you haven't ever heard me talk, and I'm describing the things which is real versus the things not, you're going to be impressed by the word is, and you're going to start using the word is. You're not going to use any other verbs, because when you're using other verb tense, that's wrong, honest. Now, it might not be, because you could be very skillful in the way you use your verb tense. But the average person that you meet, they have no intelligence whatsoever in the capacity to use clauses of time, which, why shouldn't you not be good at using clauses of time in your own speech in the way you would have considered something in response to people where you are? So this is real. This is you who can launch an action. A stone is not going to launch an action, and I'm so sorry that you thought it could, but it's not going to. And anything fictional that you thought is going to launch an action, that's not going to either, because that's not what is. You see? So can you say something is Because when you do, you're talking about what is real. And that is you who's listening, who's aware of your perception. Not perception itself. And you must know the distinction between the two. Because when you wrote something down on a piece of paper, I know you think that is real and it's living, but it's not. It's a record. And a record cannot speak. It's dead. So you're not equivalent to something dead. What's dead has no central organized nervous system. I'm so sorry, but it's a record only. It's dead. You cannot have what's dead above your head. And if you did, that's insanity. That's got nothing to do with what's natural. Do you understand that? And if you do, it's going to be helpful, because you could be coming along for the ride to have woken and be more woke. Now, if you're woke, it would be because you could see a precipice is in front of you. Yeah, because otherwise you won't be woke. I'm sorry. You're not going to have any gamma wave, and you won't impact people so that they're listening and are in a very nice alpha theta rhythm, because that's all that you could be, where some beta, energy is so fine. You've got two waves that happen in your brain. And you could say you've studied the brain. You know what exceptional brain function is. You can describe it, and you can describe what's completely not exceptional whatsoever. Characteristics of exceptional brain versus somebody's just got not exceptional brain whatsoever. Yeah? Big difference. Massive. What's that? 3 areas of the brain when you're born are perfect because nothing is there in those areas. They work perfectly to cause you to have whole brain patterning. But something happens when you go to school. You get cortisol in your saliva. Maybe you ate lamb butt. You've got a lot of things going on which you've got pending doom, and it all gets triggered when you go to school. Now you have a lot of cortisol, epinephrine, norepinephrine, adrenocorticotropic hormone. You've got all these stress hormones because you have a lot of don't, won't, can't, should, try, but, must, only, yeah? And every little sigh and everything you do is to do with internal dialogue, and you're not marshalling any of it. But if you did, you could live a longer life. And why shouldn't everybody be living a longer life? Yes? So clearly you and I, we could feel all the need to be compensated. And why should it not be for the next 210 years that we've selected a republic at peace? And you and I, we really have the resource, which is not just, some stone burial that you've got everybody digging and dragging stones to, and that's what they did in their life. Well, I'm sorry, that's really wrong. And no one's going to say that that's not what I see is going on and has been in the past, and so, but not all of it. Because this, which is unity consciousness, which you're talking about, really was King Jubb and King and his son that was stolen from him, and everybody needs to learn a bit more about the story of this.
Subject, object, verb.
But a mound where somebody was of some proper purpose would keep technology that existed for you of unity consciousness. And you might find gold coins, all kinds of things there, which would be to really start up a new social compact that works. And anybody who interfered with that, they would be blood money because it was blood that was let, and someone is going to be received of some benefit from it. And you can't be, you see, because you're cursed. Because you've taken something from us, we the people. And if you have a me-seum, you don't, that's not going to be quite right, is it? Me-seums are all, something for you and something for me, sort of, but maybe that's not the same. Somebody could have a me-seum, don't they? And you don't. And all these me-seums is for me, not you. It's really my organisation and what I want to do with your brain, sorry. But that's not a proper place to keep all the treasures that you could then know your past, is it? And should you not know where moments have happened that obliteratedness of condition was, because that was crime itself, done to you as a people, we as a people everywhere. So if St. Peter's bacillus or any bacillus was really built on a confusion of confession, and people would have a tax to pay for getting into heaven, and then they would have a tax to pay for sins. And so you're funding everything from people paying for tax ahead of time so they don't have to go to confession because they've paid their tax.
Imaginary friend tax.
Yeah, so you've got a claim, of course, everybody does have, which really needs to be expressed, where something is being more in this new mindset. And you've examined really this whole idea of some centralised pledged ownership, which is completely irregular. And could you find a moment wherever it was not irregular? No. So
Small pockets.
you can't consider that anything like it was. It wasn't 2,000 years ago because unity consciousness wasn't. It was 172 nations in a union, which all this gets busted up because someone doesn't want to play that game, and they only have a system where you have to kill the priest to be the top priest. When you're under a system like that, that's all frozen logo, isn't it?
But only
Frozen
with a
logo.
special club made from a certain wood.
Right, there were rules. Anyway, I hope you've been enjoying this conversation and that you've been able to receive a little bit of benefit from it. And I'll catch up to you in a future moment.